Hello guys, welcome to the 3D market commentary for today. Today is Thursday, June 24th. Hopefully you're having a good trading week so far. So my name is Becky. I know my head is in the way there, but my email address is becky@tradictive.com. It's just there. If you can see it, you turn your head a little bit to read it, but hopefully it's easy to remember how to spell it. There's also this link here, tradewithufos.com/Becky. I'll take you to that in a second. Before we do that, let's just make sure we cover the disclaimers. So that should be highlighting on the screen there. Of course, disclaimers are there for legal purposes, but it's also important that you guys understand these kind of videos are demonstrations. So we show you how we do things and how we think, up to you how you take it at the end of the day. Okay, so tradewithufos.com/Becky. Let me just bring that up. She says, there you go. So this is that link here. So it will take you to this it will take you to this page and you can set yourself up a free Trade with UFOs membership. Once you've done that, you can come down and ask a question in a public space. So that for me is better because it means that other people can see the questions and other people can see the answers as well. Obviously, if you email me, then that's just kept between you and I. And if you'd rather keep it that way, that's fine. But for me, better that a question goes here in this public area so that other people can come down, see the questions, see the answers, and we can all learn from that space. Also from this link, you can book one-on-one coaching with me if you'd like, free membership and the sort of public question and answer area. So 3D market commentary, let's bring up the data here. So 3D market commentary, that says for June the 23rd. So that was yesterday. That's yesterday's one. So in which case, what we'll do, I brought up the wrong market commentary. That's on me. That's my bad. What I'll do is rather than use this, I will just go straight into what the data itself says, and it will correlate with the 3D market commentary that you got for today, rather than go and find the one for today and take up that time doing that. So I'll just close that and we'll take a look just at the market and just at the data that we have here. So 3D market commentary usually is where we look at three different elements. So we look at the first thing, which is market climate, which is where we use this app for. Essentially, that's where do we have probabilities, up or down or nowhere, because that then helps us figure out should we buy or sell or do nothing. So using this app, we look at the dots, ignore the lines. We look at the dots and we'll say, okay, thick red dot, that tells us probability downwards, so we should look to sell. Thick blue dot, probability upwards, we should look to buy. Thin dots of either color, a little bit harder to see, but that's kind of the point. That tells us not enough probability either way, so do nothing. So that question is answered by this app. By the way, AutoClimate is a free app. So once you've got your free Trade with UFOs membership, you can download this app for free. So first things first is climate. Second thing will be if we're going to buy, where do we buy? If we're going to sell, where do we sell? And this is where UFOs come in. UFO stands for unfilled order. So this is where, again, we use an app. In this case, we're using the AutoUFO app that's showing us these little flying saucers, these little UFOs, showing us where, in the case of green UFOs, where we have buy orders, where there's going to be a lot of buying. We can see here on the right-hand side the exact prices that correlate with that. In the case of red UFOs, where are we going to have sellers? Where is there going to be selling? And the prices that correlate. So if we're going to buy, we'll buy where there's lots of other buyers because it's more likely to push price up. If we're going to sell, we'll sell where there's lots of other selling. It's more likely to push price down. So we use our UFOs as well. And then we want to look at volatility. That's the third thing we'll look at. I won't be able to get this up today because of loading the wrong thing. That's on me. Sorry about that, guys. But we'll go through climate and UFOs for each of these markets. So the first market we usually look at is the S&P on the ES. Now, we're looking at a daily chart for each of these markets, which tells us, obviously, the information related to what's happening in a daily time frame. Now, obviously, different things happen on different time frames. So if you trade much smaller or much bigger time frames, things will be different. But this is a daily chart. So each candle is worth a day. Now, with the S&P 500, so basically the US stock market, we have a current unconfirmed climate. It's a thin dot. It doesn't matter that it's blue, it's unconfirmed. That tells us not enough probabilities either way to call it. And so we would do nothing. Now, for the sake of interest, we know we do have some buy UFOs here at 41.23 to 40.55.50. So again, we have buy orders there, but they're kind of irrelevant at the moment. Sorry, I was just checking that I did get the date right. So it is the 24th. The 23rd was yesterday, so that really is true. So with the buy UFOs, we have buy orders here, but if we don't have enough probability with our climate, we'd move on it anyway. We'd change market or change time frame. So that's the S&P. Let's move on now and look at oil. That would be the next market that we look at. In the meantime, by the way, I should explain, like we said, that AutoClimate is a free app. AutoUFOs is a paid-for app. In TradingView, which is the one we're using now, it's $34 per month, and that shows us again exactly where we have these buy and sell orders to tell us where to place our entries and exits as well. If you take one of our classes, one of our courses, a lot of them include UFOs free for 3 months. So it actually works out during the course. So you can check that out as well. Okay, so looking at oil, we have a thick blue dot here, probability upwards, which means we should be looking to buy. Now, one thing to bear in mind is that based on our stats, usually this market would go up. I know it's a bit faint, maybe a little bit hard to see, but it's telling us that usually this market would go up on the daily chart for 6.47 candles, meaning let's round that up, 7 candles, 7 days it would go up for before it changed direction. Well, in this case, we've actually gone up so far on the 20th. That means we've gone way past what is usual in terms of a move to the upside, which means we need to be aware that things might change soon. Now, saying that, we do have buy orders just below us that we've already hit here at 72.99 to 69.77. Price is just coming into this buy UFO. We would expect this buy UFO to push price up. That's what buy UFOs do. That's what buying does. It pushes prices upwards. So we do still have probability up with the climate. We do have buy orders below us that are likely to push price up, but we have gone way past what's usual. So overall, still probability up. Not as many probabilities as we'd like, but still overall probability up there with oil. So let's check out gold. That would be the next market. Okay, so with gold, we have a thick red dot, probability down, meaning we should look to sell. Usually, this market would go down for 6.29 candles. So again, let's just round that up to 7. Goes down for 7 candles, and we're on candle number 9. So we've gone slightly past what is normal in terms of a move to the downside. Now we do have sell UFOs just here at 1866 to 1804.4. So if we hit that stack of sell orders, we would expect price to be pushed down from there. So again, overall probabilities down. Probability down with the climate, and we're closer to sell orders. So again, should mean that we see the price drop over the next few days, but we have gone past what is usual. So it also wouldn't be surprising to see price change direction. Overall probability is still down though. Again, bear in mind, I'm using the word probability. It's not definite, it's not guaranteed. We still manage our risk just in case, but we're not going to trade at all unless we have at least some form of probability, which is why we use the technology to help us out with that. So let's have a look at the US dollar. So with the US dollar, we have a thick blue dot, probability upwards there. Usually the US dollar would go up for 4.65 candles, call it 5, and we're on candle number 9, which again means we've gone past what is usual in terms of that current move. So it looks like on a lot of these markets, we're likely to be seeing changes coming up based on what usually happens. Now with the dollar, we're kind of in the middle between UFOs. We've got buy orders here at 90.64 to 90.31. And we have sell orders, the closest stack is at 93.125 and 92.84. And we're kind of in the middle. So yes, probability up with the climate, but no UFOs really close by that could really make so much of a difference. The US dollar is less volatile than others, so it's unlikely to move very far within the next few days. I would say probably be looking to see it go to an unconfirmed climate pretty soon. That would be what I would expect, but we'll see. Now the last market is back to Bitcoin. Go back to Bitcoin. So with this, we have a confirmed downwards climate, thick red dot, probability downwards. Now, we don't actually know with Bitcoin what usually happens because it's not old enough yet. It's not been around long enough for us to have the data to say this usually happens, this usually happens. All we know is that we are currently on candle number 5 to the downside. Now, we do have sell orders just here at 39,295 to 37,460. And we have buy orders here at 27,782.5 to 22,910. And again, we're kind of in the middle. Overall probability down though with Bitcoin. And bear in mind as well, Bitcoin is more volatile than the other markets. We tend to see it move up or down in a year of around 100%, whereas the others might be 6%, 20%, 15%, something like that. So Bitcoin is that little bit more volatile. Now, for volatility, you can come to the FX Street economic calendar. Let's just load that. And have an idea of which news articles that could be coming out or news reports that could be coming out that could affect the markets that you trade. So let's just select all. This is all countries or all sort of major countries, and we'll filter by high impact. We click apply filter, and what we'll do as well is make sure we're looking at the next week. So this week, there we go. Okay, so doing that shows us high impact news that is likely to create volatility on the markets. So today being Thursday, we have a lot coming out on the pound. A lot of it's already come out. In fact, it looks like it has already come out. A lot coming out on the pound and US dollar, a little bit coming out later on the US dollar and on the euro. And again, we had the yen this morning. So what this is showing us is that there are scheduled news reports that are likely to create an impact in the markets. Now, that's important for us to know because if high volatility comes into the markets, the risk can go up. Some people love that. Some people want to avoid it. It's up to you to decide how to interpret that, but you can use this economic calendar to help you. So let's just come back to tradewithufos.com/Becky. So if you have any questions, you can come here and ask this question. This wasn't a standard session today. I loaded the wrong document, so we had to do it purely based on the charts today. But hopefully that made sense as to what we're looking for, the technology that we use. There are loads of videos that we do on YouTube that you can check out where you can understand more about our methodology and how we use our technology. It's all for free, obviously, on YouTube and on Facebook as well. We do have a closed coaching community, which is $21 per month, where you get more of our time in that closed environment. But ultimately, it's up to you to decide where is best for you to be. You can schedule or self-schedule a clarification call with one of our experts, talk through the different memberships, coaching packages, apps that we use, and decide what's going to be best for you, if anything. So you can do that as well. If you go to the website, which would just be tradewithufos.com, you should be able to book that from there. If you go to tradewithufos.com/Becky, this is where you can ask me a question or you can book one-on-one coaching with me as well. First things first, though, you'll need to set yourself up with a free membership. So I'll be back tomorrow. I will load the right document tomorrow, don't worry. So I will see you guys in the morning. Hopefully you have a great trading day and I'll see you soon.